In this video, we're going to be testing out a couple tempered glass screen protectors as well as some rear camera protectors made by Xbase for the brand new iPhone 16 Pro Max. In this video, I'm going to be doing an installation for each one of these items. We're going to see how they fit, how they feel, and stick with me until the end of the video because I will be doing a scratch and a drop test to see how durable the screen protectors really are. And I promise you by the end of this video, you'll know which one of these accessories are right for you. So let's get started. So first, let's start off with installing the rear camera protectors. Now this is tempered glass, it's got 9H hardness, and we're also going to be doing a scratch test to see how scratch resistant it really is. So we get one camera protector and an installation packet. So the first thing we need to do is to thoroughly clean off the rear cameras with the alcohol wipe. Then once you're done cleaning, you want to thoroughly make sure that you dry it off. And I'd probably even wait about a minute before we install the rear camera protectors so we make sure that all the moisture has disappeared. Then after the minute's up, we're going to take our camera protector, make sure you orient it in the way that the cameras are on your phone. So we got the two cameras here lined up here, and the two holes for the sensor and the LED are also lined up. Then we're going to peel back this plastic protector and then just press this whole thing over your camera lenses. And you're all set. So we can wipe it down a little bit, and then we'll take a look. So really easy installation, everything fits in there perfectly, and as you can see, it really doesn't add much extra bulk to the phone, it just adds protection. And as you can see, it's also crystal clear. So let's test out our rear camera. So here is the rear camera, everything looks nice and clear. Let's zoom in. You can see how nice and sharp that is. There's no issues with clarity. Colors are also represented really well. Everything's nice and clean. So there's no issues taking pictures with the rear camera protectors on your phone. Looks really nice. So now that we have the rear camera protectors installed, let's install the clear tempered glass. So again, this does have 9H hardness. It also does have an oleophobic coating on it to keep down fingerprints. It's super clear and it's also got beveled edges. So we get one screen protector and our installation packet with instructions. So the first thing we need to do is to thoroughly clean off our screen with the included alcohol wipe. Then we'll dry off the screen. Then take your screen protector, making sure that this little sticker is on the underside of the screen. And it really doesn't matter how you install it because there are no camera cutouts or anything. It's pretty uniform all the way around the screen. So we'll peel off this bottom sticker. Then just grab onto these little wings on the side and install it the best you can on your screen. And once it's down, you can use your finger to kind of guide the installation. And then once that's done, we can just peel off the top protector and we'll take a look. So we did get some bubbles right here in the corner, but I can very easily get those out by just slightly lifting the screen. So I was able to get those bubbles out just by very carefully lifting up the screen. And if you're going to do that, you need to be very careful because you can crack the screen. As you can see, it is a full coverage screen protector. Again, it covers our cameras and sensors on the top. There is also a good gap all the way around the phone for case compatibility, which we will test. The edges are also nicely rounded off, very smooth. And as far as the glass on the screen, nice and smooth as well, just like the glass that's on the phone. Now, as far as fingerprints goes, it does pick up very slight fingerprints, but it does seem to do a really good job at keeping those down. And because of the oleophobic coating, you can very easily just wipe those away. Now let's test out our Face ID. Face ID working perfectly fine. And as you can see, the screen is crystal clear. Touch working fine as well. You just barely touch the screen. Very nice. Now let's look at the screen as if we were looking at it through polarized sunglasses. So as you can see, there is a slight rainbow effect for the screen protector, not horrible at all. And depending on how you tilt the screen, it could get a little better or a little worse. But if you're looking at the screen pretty much dead on, you're only going to see a very slight variation in that rainbow. So let's put the phone inside of our case. Seems to fit perfectly inside this case, and there's still a good gap all the way around the phone. So this screen protector should be compatible with most cases. Looking good so far. Now let's take a look at the light bleed from the side of the screen protector. Now because this has more of a gap between the phone and the screen protector, there might be a little more light bleed from the side. I don't think it's horrible, but you can see it. See right there. Let's take a closer look. So you can see that there is a slight gap between the edge of the screen protector and the glass itself. I don't think it's horrible. That's definitely not a deal breaker for me, but it's just something that I kind of wanted to show just in case you were interested in knowing. And also remember, you are installing the screen protector manually. There's no guide, so it's up to you to try to install it the best that you can. And sometimes it might be slightly less than perfect. But everything about this screen protector looks pretty good so far. So now let's move on to the scratch and the drop test. So we're going to be dropping a 2.4 ounce steel metal ball at a starting height of 2 feet. If the screen protector doesn't crack, we'll move it up foot by foot until it eventually does. So here we go at 2 feet. 2 feet. All right, so this screen protector lasted up until a 2-foot drop. Now let's move on to the scratch test. So regular tempered glass starts to scratch around a Mohs hardness number 6. So we're going to start off with the number 5. We'll move on to a number 6. And then a number 7. So if we take a closer look, you can see there are no scratches at the number 5. There are deeper at a number 6 and about the same at a number 7. So scratch resistance seems to be pretty standard for tempered glass. So installation for the screen protector was fairly easy. It could have been a little bit easier with a guide. It does seem to be case friendly. It lasted up until a 2-foot drop, and scratch resistance seems to be pretty standard for tempered glass. So now let's test out the Privacy tempered glass screen protector. Again, this has all the same properties as the clear, 9H hardness, oleophobic coating to keep down fingerprints, and rounded edges. So we get one tempered glass screen protector and our installation packet. So first we need to clean off our screen with the alcohol wipe. Then we'll dry off our screen. Use the dust sticker to remove any dust. Then take your tempered glass screen protector, making sure that the little number 1 tab is on the underside of the screen and the little cutouts for your cameras are going towards the camera on your phone. So we'll peel off that bottom protector and then just hold on to the little wings on the side of the screen protector and install it the best that you can. And then once that's done, you can run your finger down the middles to start the installation. Then once it's done, you can just peel up the top protector and we'll take a look at our screen. So for the most part, it does seem to be pretty good. We do have some bubbles in the side, and I'll just kind of squeegee those out with a credit card. All right, so looking pretty good. I was able to get out those bubbles just by kind of lifting up very carefully on the screen. Screen looks pretty good. Don't see any extra bubbles. We do have our cutouts in the front here for our sensors and our camera. The edges are also rounded off. Feels really good. As far as touch, super smooth. Maybe even smoother than the glass that's on the actual phone. Now, one thing to note is with all of these privacy screens, they do dull the screen down. So you're most likely going to have to raise the brightness to kind of compensate for that. But as you can see, it is nice and clear. As far as our fingerprints, does a pretty good job at fingerprint rejection. There's only very slight smudges on the screen, which again, you can just very easily wipe away with a dry cloth. Very nice. As you can see, there's also a good gap all the way around the screen for case compatibility. Let's test out our Face ID. Face ID is working perfectly fine. As far as touch, Nice and smooth, and you can see everything very easily on the screen as well. Now, if you're not familiar with privacy screens, the way that they work is if you're looking at the screen dead on, you can see it perfectly, but if you try to look at the screen from the side, it kind of just disappears like the screen isn't even on. That's pretty cool. Now, it does work side to side, but it does not work up and down. So if you're looking at the screen, from up and down, you can see what's on the screen, but not from the sides. It is pretty cool. And then as far as our camera goes, no issues with the camera either. It is nice and clear. So now let's check out the light bleed from the edges of the screen. You can see that there is a slight amount. I don't think it's a deal breaker. Again, I'm not going to be looking at my phone from the side, but you can see a slight bit of white from the edge of the screen protector. So let's put our phone inside of our case. And the screen protector seems to fit perfectly, and there's still a good amount of gap all the way around the screen. So if you're going to be using this with other cases, you should be perfectly fine. No lifting, no bubbles, because there is still a slight gap all the way around the screen against the case. So everything's looking good so far. Now let's move on to the scratch and the drop test. So again, we're going to be starting our test by dropping the ball from 2 feet. Here we go, 3 feet. 3 feet. So this screen protector lasted up until a 3-foot drop, and now let's move on to the scratch test. So regular tempered glass starts to scratch at a Mohs hardness number 6, so we're going to start off with a number 5. Then we'll move on to a number 6, and then a number 7. So if you take a closer look, you can see there are no scratches at the number 5. There are a little deeper at a number 6 and deeper than that at a number 7. So scratch resistance seems to be pretty standard for tempered glass. So installation for this screen protector was fairly easy. It could have been a little easier with a guide. It also does seem to be case friendly with most cases. It lasted up until a 3-foot drop, and scratch resistance seems to be pretty standard for tempered glass. So now let's test out the scratch resistance for the rear camera protectors. So again, we're going to start off with a number 5. Then we'll move on to a number 6. And then a number 7. So if you take a closer look, you can see that there are no scratches at the number 5. There are slight at a number 6 and deeper at a number 7. So again, scratch resistance is pretty standard for tempered glass. So whether you want to protect your front screen or your cameras, Xbase definitely has a product for you. And again, if you guys want to pick either one of these up, I will be putting product links in the video description. And if you guys enjoyed the video, it would really help out the channel if you gave me a thumbs up and consider subscribing. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one.